Welcome to Broomball Canada's podcast again. This is Between the Pipes. We are your host. I am Cameron Muir, and with me, of course, is our co-host Chad Schneider, also CBF president and SBA president as well.
Yep.
You're just busy man all around.
Yeah, and coach.
Oh my gosh, how do you have time for all of this?
I have no idea.
Well, it is February, and it's often considered the month of love due to Valentine's Day. So what better way to celebrate it with a podcast of couples that love broomball and have actually met in an arena under broomball related activities. So who do we have with us today, Chad?
Well, we have Jess Tischeider. I'm probably gonna screw that up. And
As
John
soon as I was
Cody
reading it, I was
Jr.
like,
Yeah, John Cody Jr. Like he's got 3 first names. So they're from Minnesota. Play out of there, met in recreation, broomball, and now they've been together for over 10 years. And then we have Justine and Tyler Hughes. They are a broomball power couple from Eastern Ontario. That's your neck of woods, isn't it?
it is. Yeah, I know them both.
Who still both play on the elite level, right?
Yeah.
And on the same teams even that they met decades ago. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. Welcome, everyone.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Hi.
Welcome to the Power Couples podcast.
Jess, before we get started with our broomball
Celebrating
questions,
Valentine's Day.
Jess, I just need you to get your last name for us. I'm pretty sure Chad butchered it, but
I totally butchered it. Guaranteed I did.
No, that's just me. She didn't know how to spell
Oh
my
no,
last name on there.
I know.
It says,
Did you see that? I spelled his last name wrong.
yeah, after 11 years, can't get the C-O-D-Y right. It says C-O-D-E right now, but whatever.
It's been a long day. My last name is pronounced Tischlater.
Tischlater?
Tischlater.
Later, eh?
Mm.
Later.
It's
Okay, yeah, I
German.
definitely butchered
German.
that. Okay. And honestly, Cody, I was not thinking that was a last name at all. I thought you had 3 first names, so welcome.
Yeah, my parents actually gave me 4 first names because it's John Joseph Cody Jr. So, yeah.
Okay. Touche. Right on. Okay. Well, welcome. Like I said, welcome. It is February. It is our Valentine's Day special, hence the red that both Cam and I are wearing as much as we can anyway. Yeah. So thank you very much for joining our humble podcast. I don't know if you guys have watched us before or not. We like to ask a few series of questions that are broomball related and try not to poke too much fun at anyone, but there's going to be a little bit of ribbon, mostly at Cam. But other than that, it's all good to go. So the way we like to start off is, can you please tell us a little bit about yourselves and how you got into broomball? And everyone's have to have their own little story. So we'll start off with Jess.
Oh gosh. So I started playing outdoor here in Minnesota when I was 17, 18 years old. I live in a small town. I worked at a fast food restaurant, and our manager's like, hey, let's put a broomball team together into this bar league. I'll sponsor it. And he's like, and I'll buy the beer. And I'm like, we're all underage. He's like, that doesn't matter. So we're all like, we're in. And so we didn't win a single game that year, but somehow our underage team won the beer drinking trophy at the bar, where they keep tabs of how much alcohol your team has consumed over the season.
It sounds like a normal broomball player,
right? And so that's how I got into playing broomball, and then it just progressed in getting asked to play on different outdoor teams. And then once I was in this specific broomball league, it was called Lord Fletcher's Broomball. We played on Lake Minnetonka. We had a couple rinks set up there. I started getting picked out by other women who played indoor and outdoor, and so I got recruited to start playing indoor broomball, and that's how my career started.
Right on. Well, thank you so much, Cody. John, Cody.
John, JC. Most people in the most people in the broomball world know me as JC. My broomball career started like 14 years ago. I started actually out at Lord Fletcher's, playing outdoor there, and then progressively started dating Jess. And if anybody doesn't like me a broomball, you can blame it on her because she got me into indoor. So 11 years ago, she got me into indoor, and then 6 years ago, I started playing with Legion BC here in the United States, and playing goalie for them, and it's been a great experience so far playing the game.
Well, welcome, another goalie. Yes, our forte. Thank you, Justine.
Yeah. So I think I was 9 when I started. I started playing in Finch. It was the Eastern. I think we were called like the Eastern, maybe Eastern Ontario. I forget what the name of our team was. It was co-ed, and we started just playing on Saturday nights in Finch, and kind of just took it from there. Went from playing co-ed to all girls. That was like a Monday night and a Friday night. And then played a little bit more co-ed on Saturday nights. All of this in Finch. And then started playing with the Eastern Thunder when I was 14, around that age anyways, juvenile. And then as a juvenile player, I got picked up to play elite with the Vipers, and I'm still here. And now I play in Carleton Place in a league with the Macmillans, and it's a lot of fun.
Right on.
Your turn.
Absolutely it is.
Yeah, I started playing when I was 16, 20 years ago, in a league in Kempful, just south of Ottawa. Played because my dad played, and then played ever since.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Man of many words.
Man of many words, for sure. You're gonna have to elaborate on a little bit.
I want to hear both sides.
I'm gonna pick on you. It's gonna be easy.
You're right.
I want to hear both sides of the love story and how each first impression of you guys. So Jess and JC, how did you guys meet, and what pushed you guys from the teammate to lovers section?
Well, I had been, I guess, divorced for a year and single, looking to mingle, maybe. We actually were playing on the same co-ed team. So a mutual friend, asked him if he wanted to play goalie on our team. And at the time I was playing defense, and I'm sorry, we refer to it as co-ed, mixed team. And I think we played together for 2 years before we were dating.
Start dating.
Yeah. And I think maybe he was just in a different relationship and I was in a different relationship. And then all of a sudden we were both single at one point. And I think this league we were in was also putting together just a for fun tournament one weekend. And him and I were trying to kind of build a super team in this tournament. So we were like just texting back and forth about putting that tournament team together, and
kind of brought us together more.
Yeah.
And then one text led to another, and then it was just a little more than broomball talk, eh?
Dude, he came and stayed the night one night, and he never left since.
Pillow talk, eh?
And I think it's because he was living in his mom's basement.
Shots thrown. Right on.
Justine and Tyler, how about you guys? And for anyone that's wondering, Canada is beating Sweden right now 1-0. So
hey, I was gonna have it in the background, but she told me to turn the TV off.
I wish I had it on the other screen, but I don't. Would be
Sorry. I think our first initial meeting would have been again at the Finch Arena. It was the youth broomball tournament. I was playing for Thunder. You had been picked up to play with Sting.
Yeah.
So he was there like running the door, and I remember walking in and being like, this guy is not from SDNG. Who is this guy? So I had to ask one of his teammates. And anyways, it was a little bit embarrassing after that. And then many years went by.
2011
at Nationals.
Ottawa Nationals won Nationals, and I asked when we came to the banquet, Are you horny for a gold medal?
Oh my god, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Ever since then. There, Cam, you got the answer.
His pickup line to me was, he's like, we should go out on a date. Like, we've been hanging out so much, we should go out on a date. And I go, yeah, let's go out. And he goes, I have been staring at your ass for the last 2 years since you've been my defender and I've been your goalie.
That's true. Yeah. Nothing like a good pickup line to
Yeah.
get things rolling,
Yeah.
especially with a gold medal. That's a gooder too. Right?
We're all just pigs, aren't we?
So we kind of heard a little bit, but really, what did draw you guys to each other? Like initially, was there anything that really pushed it over the edge, or was it just kind of one of those things that just mutually came about and it just happened? Justine, Tyler, is it the fact that Justine first asked about you, or is the fact that your gold medal just did it?
No,
That was a one night stand gone wrong.
And never left.
Yeah.
I would say, yeah, nothing really. Just her personality and yeah.
Yeah, you are a wordsmith. For sure.
Yeah.
Right.
I always said he had a nice smile.
There you go. See. So that's kind of what initially drew you to him, Justine, was his smile.
Yeah.
Right on.
Even
Okay.
after he lost a tooth.
From a stick?
Punch.
Yeah. Well, it couldn't have been from mouthing off.
Never.
Different story on the ice, right? Different
Yeah.
story on the ice. Yeah. Okay. JC, other than staring at her butt for 2 years?
Probably the first date we went on. I brought her out to my ice shack. We went walleye fishing, and she outfished me. And it was like, who is this person? And how are they outfishing me right away? And yeah, kind of drew me a lot closer to her right away to be like, yeah, she
Right
loves
on.
some passion that I love too of fishing. So yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
That
Yeah.
is awesome.
Yeah, that was our first date. We went out ice fishing. So we went straight from like the Broomball, because we were playing outdoor on that same lake just down the road. So it was literally, we left the outdoor rink on the lake and drove down the road and went ice fishing. So
Cool.
yeah.
So do you guys still play co-ed together, or do you not like to play on the same team? Is there any pros and cons of playing with your significant other? Or?
We our career of playing together was limited to outdoor only. When I introduced him to indoor broomball, I guess we were playing pickup. So we play pickup a couple nights a week, and we were playing indoor pickup together. And he's like, this indoor broomball sport is amazing. He's like, I'm going to start my own men's team. So he got really dedicated into building a really bad men's broomball team.
But there's a lot of players that still play, and I mean, there's a lot of good players that came out of that team that play A now. Yeah, which is good to see.
But I enjoyed playing co-ed, not or mixed, but not competitively really indoor. But yeah, he tried it once, and he's like, I can't play with women on the ice.
Like, what's the running?
Oh, that's right.
What's the running thing? I don't know.
Yeah, and he's a goalie,
I
and he
just
didn't want to.
Cam gets it.
He didn't want to run.
Yeah, the only time I play co-ed is when I play out, because I usually like to have a female in net for numbers and stuff. So
yeah.
I'm not the best runner, so.
But and then COVID kind of killed. So I ended up turning around and eventually running this outdoor league. We had about 70 teams in this outdoor league, and COVID killed it. It was really sad. They had to, not have all the people next to each other, inside. And it was like a bar restaurant. And then following winter, they were doing some remodeling of their docks and piers outside where all our rinks were built around. And it just kind of disintegrated. And it was a real huge disappointment because there's so many people. I mean, there's a lot of couples like us who met out in this large outdoor, mixed couple broomball league. But we still, I've somewhat retired now because I need a hip replacement, but I go and cheer him on. I go to a lot of his games, so that's the extent of us being together at the rink.
Nothing wrong with that.
Now, Justine and Tyler, I know you guys both play Elite on separate teams, but do you guys ever get to join in for mixed fun tournaments or different mixed leagues or anything? Or?
We did play in Finch on Saturday nights briefly, and that was like 10 years ago. But then a couple Pakenham mixed tournaments we've played, but no, we play more men's and women's.
Mm-hmm. Better to stay have your alone time.
I prefer to keep it that way.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say it's probably is a little difficult to play on the same team, maybe.
It could be. I probably wouldn't like playing with him. He probably wouldn't pass the ball or anything, so it'd be really frustrating.
There's some guys that just won't pass to the girls.
Yeah.
Hey, well, that kind of leads us into the next question then. Like, are you a huge critic of your spouse's gameplay? And you can see the ice better, obviously, as a spectator sometimes. Do you give it to them after the game and say, what the hell were you thinking? And you should have done this? Justine, how do those conversations go with Tyler?
Maybe bothered him a few times about his speed. As he gets older, he gets slower. So he needs to play a very defensive game.
Hey, gravity is a bitch, okay?
Yeah.
It really is. You can't fight it. And what about you, Tyler? Have you got some great advice for your spouse?
I don't say nothing because I'm wise married man.
I wouldn't say that's true.
Okay. Well, and then obviously Jess and JC. I guess Jess, with you're the typical watcher now. Have you got some words of wisdom for JC after the games?
Usually not. I mean, he plays really well. Many times if I'm watching their tournament or watching their game at a tournament, I might be filming for Broomball Central. And so I know I've caught a lot of flack for being one-sided and only cheering for the Legion. They're like, these commentators suck. And so I'm usually his biggest cheerleader. I'm not much of a critic. If anything, I'm like booing the refs and criticizing the other team on film.
Awesome. That sounds good.
Well, if you guys aren't too critical of your spouses, what's your best thing that you think that they do well? Sorry, I phrased that terribly. What do you guys think that your spouse does the best at playing broomball? Jess, Jess and JC.
Her shot. It was probably when she was playing was probably her shot. She was one of those people that had a pretty decent shot from the point when she played defense. So yeah, that's probably her highest spot in broomball was shooting the ball.
Nice. This just feels like couples therapy, but yeah, keep it. Just,
I know. Honestly, usually if you ask him what does she do best, he's like, she's the best team mom.
Yeah, I'd say team mom for Lisa. Now, I mean, yeah, her and
travel agent,
and Sheila
team
being
mom.
our team moms. Yeah.
Awesome.
Jess, what do you think JC does well in net?
I honestly think his greatest strength is
Kelly Lake win.
No. He's really good about just leaving it on the ice. Like he has a bad game, maybe except for this past weekend. He came home just bitchy. But he normally just leaves it on the ice. And I'll even go, dude, what was up with that goal? Like, how'd that goal go in? And he's like, which goal? Like he actually forgets about what had just happened because he's so focused on in the moment and just staying his mind in the game and not worrying about what, had already gone past him.
That sounds like a pretty stellar goalie. Yep. I wish I could say the same when I played, but I got angry.
Yeah.
I was called the Hextall of broomball for a reason. So
yeah, I heard some stories about when I was in Syracuse. I heard some stories about you, Chad, that I hadn't heard before, and they're fun to listen to.
It is what it is. If you want to be the best, you got to compete. And that's the way it is.
Justine, what do you think Tyler does well?
I would say he's pretty good at reading a play and blocking shots, even though he's not a goalie defense. But yeah, good on the penalty kill.
Yeah, not bad. Not
As long
bad.
as you block the shot and don't tip it in the
deep
net,
flip.
right? Hey, as long as you block the shot and don't tip it in the net.
Yes,
You're right.
key.
Yeah.
I had some conversations with my defense over the years. If you're gonna stop it, stop it. If not, get the flip out of the way.
So
Okay,
Tyler,
well,
when
awesome.
you're not critiquing Justine to all your friends, are you saying any good things about her?
Well, she's good forward and good goal scorer
Oh, that's not true. I barely scored goals.
for power play. If she's
Brownie
out there.
Yeah, if I'm.
Now you're going for brownie points. Good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Trying to
It
get
is.
in the end of the night good.
That's right. It's a couples. It's a couples podcast. You got to go for brownie points,
Yeah.
right?
Uh,
Right on.
Now, do you guys have any funny broomball stories or experiences you guys can share with us, whether it's on or off the ice at different tournaments or anything? JC and Jess?
Vegas. Every time in Vegas, you go to Vegas, something weird happens. I mean,
You know,
goalie
Wait,
passed
wait,
out.
wait,
you can't
I
tell
won't
us.
say names.
I'm like,
I
don't-
won't say
like,
names,
What
What
happens
happens in Vegas
is
stays in Vegas.
Goalie passed out in the locker room, too drunk to put equipment on, to a guy getting pushed around in an office chair through the hotel because he's ate too many cannabis brownies, to a teammate went missing for an hour and a half, and me and Matt Street were just like, we gave up on him. We were just like,
He's
where
gone.
did he go? We thought, hey, Vegas ate him, and then he comes around the corner just shooting guns at us. Like, it was, yeah, Vegas has got to be the funniest times I've ever had in Broomball. Like, yeah. I'm not gonna ever say names, but it was a great time.
I've heard a lot of stories about Vegas. I've never gone there to the tournament, but I've heard lots of stories about that tournament. And I'd like to just go maybe watch nowadays, but man, I wish I could have played in it when I was back in the heyday, when I
Yeah.
could actually do something.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Yeah, it is. And now I don't think they're gonna have it anymore because I think the Nets got destroyed.
So, yeah,
last
somehow the
we
nets
heard.
went missing. I don't
And
know.
that's what missing, and yeah. So,
Guess you better go put a couple on black and win some money and get some new nets.
yeah.
It is Vegas.
Justine and Tyler, I've seen some funny stuff happen at tournaments with you guys there, but anything you want to share?
I don't know if any of it would really be podcast appropriate, but
That's what I was thinking.
I would say one of the funniest things I thought about today was the game when Tyler actually did get his tooth knocked out, because I actually had no idea. And I always told everyone I liked Tyler for his smile. And then I was walking out of the rink, and I think it was Steve Norman was like, yeah, Butter lost his tooth. And I was like, what? No, he didn't. I was just down there. And I was literally just telling somebody how much I liked his teeth. And they're like, no, it's gone. He just spit it out on the ice.
Was that Kempville?
No, we were in like Armprior.
Armprior.
Oh, yeah.
I think it was provincials. But yeah, that was an expensive, funny story, I guess.
You don't look like a guy that would get his tooth knocked out very easily. Like you really don't.
No comment.
Let's just say a lucky punch, Chad. Let's just say a
Okay.
lucky
I'm okay. Okay. Yeah. You were talking?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Good enough. Okay. So, future broomball. Do you guys have any future broomball related goals as a couple that you guys want to do? Now, obviously, Jess, you said you can wait for a hip replacement. I don't know if your broomball days are pretty much numbered and you're done, or maybe you never know. The
Yep,
hip will be
never
new.
know.
Hip will be awesome, and you can be like bionic woman and
Right?
give her.
I know.
Right?
I know. Yeah. I can always dream and hope.
Right? So, like, is there anything in the future that you guys see, like starting another team, running the outdoor league again, like anything like that, or going to one last tournament? Hurrah!
Going to the next Worlds together, probably, if it's happening in Whitehorse. I don't know. Like, we don't, yeah. That'd be like the next thing. It's like, yeah, going to the next world.
I just love traveling too. And I mean, even at these world tournaments, there's been times where like I'll go to support him, but I also sign up to volunteer. And so, I just, I want to keep the sport growing and going. And so anything I can help contribute to, either, like when we just went to France together, and that was amazing. That was such an amazing trip.
That was crazy. That was so much. That was the best worlds I've been to. That was so much fun.
It was fun. I was there too. I was there too.
The food was amazing. Like just everything about it. Like I would love for them to have it there again. But I mean, I understand like if you could find some great places like that. I mean, I love to travel. That's my goal. But him and I actually coached a team together, a mixed team, at the Worlds, and that was a fun opportunity. He's like, I was like bench coach, and he was head coach, and so he's, and here in the U.S. you don't have to go through training and get certified and all the things to be a coach, and you could be a coach player if you wanted to. But to have him on one end of the bench and yelling like, I would just look at him and make eye contact and know, like, because we're trying to figure out a rotation at the end of the bench, and so it was a pretty cool experience just to be able to coach with him, and that was fun.
Well, that's awesome. That's fantastic. It's a great story.
Yeah. But I mean, I think the other thing too is I just want to continue trying to help support him, and like in the days where he keeps saying, "Oh, my knees or my body," and I'm like, dude, you're 8 years younger than me. Suck it up, pal. You got a while to go. And like, I would just love to see him get that, be on the U.S. Hall of Fame, right? And get that accomplishment. And so that's one of the things I'm really, try to keep him positive and pushing to get.
Great.
So yeah, you got a while. You
get out the Ben Gay.
Yeah, right.
Start moving up, right?
Yeah. Should have started Broomball 20 years earlier.
Right on. Okay, Justine, Tyler, any big plans?
Coaching the kids together or anything?
Yeah, you're gonna start your own little Broomball team with the kids?
Like introducing the kids to the sport someday. Right now they're big into hockey and it takes up a lot of time. But I feel like their skills will be pretty transferable, and yeah, definitely get them in the league around here in a few years.
Yeah.
We just have to make it through this year ourselves. I would say though, like our biggest accomplishment, or I kind of feel like we hit it. We both hit like won nationals in 2019 on home ice with our own teams, and that was huge. So after that, I was like, I can be done with playing and just play for fun and just have that under my belt. I'm happy with that.
Keeps bringing you back in, though.
Yeah, that's a pretty great accomplishment.
Every year, I'm like, I'm not playing again, and then here I am, back again.
Well, then maybe you can start coaching or reffing. What about officiating, huh? We always need officials.
Maybe none of those.
None of those, eh?
It's tough.
Can't say it in tough.
Yeah, I did that in our outdoor league for fun, and it is not great being a ref.
Well, especially in an outdoor league, and what is it, beer league? They're just mad all the time.
Where the refs can stand on the rink with a beer.
Yeah, that was the best part about refing, is with a beer.
But man, when you're on the bad side of someone, it's just like you got to have a strong backbone, and I give refs all the props in the world.
Yep.
Another question for you guys. What do you guys think the Broomball has brought to your relationship over the years? Has it strengthened it? Do you guys share friends because of Broomball, and you find it easier to hang out with other couples that you know through Broomball? Justine and Tyler, we'll start with you guys.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Big time.
Perfect.
Yeah. Definitely seen people all over Ontario, friends, and Justine being an hour away from
home,
where we live now. So
it's nice too. Like, when I play Broomball, then I'm reunited with all the people that I grew up playing with. Like, essentially, those are my friends from home, and it's nice to be reunited with them whenever we do play. Mm-hmm. But then I've also made a lot of friends when I moved here and playing Broomball with like people in Carleton Place And
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, we always said like Broomball, it's a family. It's a
yeah,
community, it's a family. It's still small enough. It's not massive, right? The people you see at nationals, like at our Canadian nationals anyway, is kind of the same people you see year after year after year. You
yeah,
get to
like
make
you're
those
with them at
bonds.
juvenile nationals,
Yeah,
you see them there, and then you watch them grow, and then they get married, and sometimes they marry. Like, I don't know how many people on my team are married to people on his team. Like, it's like the Vipers and Nationals. Like,
yeah.
we're procreating and making another team, or maybe two more teams. Who knows?
Let's hope. Let's hope there's two or three.
Yeah. But yeah,
I,
it's a lot of fun. That's probably what keeps us coming back to is you say you're not going to go back, but then it's not even the sport; it's actually the people that keep you coming back.
Yeah, it's just going to the bar after and talking to everyone.
Exactly. I need to play next year. I need to go to provincial so I know what so and so is doing. Like
Yeah.
how's their life going?
yeah, it is. It really is it's a tight knit family,
Yeah.
a community, like, and that's what I love about it so much. Even though I want to grow the sport exponentially, like if I could do anything that I could is to get more teams, get more provinces involved, especially than the way it's dwindling. Like Alberta's kind of dying, Manitoba's kind of dying. If I could get those back and we can get something going in BC, I would just love to see it grow that way. But like I said, your elite teams are your elite teams, and those are the people you see all the time, which makes it really, really nice to forge those bonds and talk to them every year at nationals and get to know them. But
Or
yeah,
at provincials on a Saturday night when you lose and you're in the bar.
Yeah. Yeah. I've had some good times at some different bars across Ontario because we've been out early. So
That's what I live for.
Jess, JC,
Yeah, that's the same for us too. It's, we've made so many new friends and different friends. And I always joke that, I introduced him to indoor broomball, and everyone he knows indoor is because of me. And if for some reason we would ever split up, they're all my friends and not his. They have to choose me. But yeah, it's amazing how many friends we have and have made over the years that, and you're like, just like you guys said, it's, you might not see them for months in between tournaments. And it's so exciting just to, like, we were just at the Can-Am, and there's a whole bunch of people on the East Coast that we might, in Minnesota, might not see until we go to something like the Can-Am or nationals. And it's just like hugs all around, like, haven't missed a beat with that friendship. And it's fun to see, the kids grow up and see, like, catch up on gossip too, right? Like, oh, are they still a couple, or what happened to them? Or
yeah, Can-Am is always a fun tournament.
yeah.
Not a lot of sleep on that Saturday night, especially when we had to play. What time did we have to play you guys? It was like 9
I was gonna
a.m.
say something to her. I saw something to Jess right away. I was like, should I say something to Cam about that 8:30 in the morning game? Because one of my teammates came up to you and said, "Are you okay, man?" And you kind of just looked at him and you were just like, "What do you mean? There's still 5 minutes on the clock. Like, I'm just fine standing."
It was like 2.5 hours of sleep. It was pretty brutal.
Yeah.
But that's
Syracuse. I forgot. I have a great funny story from the Can-Am about that. I thought I heard the guy say, he's trying to tell me, he told me a story, but tell him about the case of beer in the ceiling at the hotel.
Oh, that was my first year I went. That was 2019, and I walked into, I don't remember what hotel it was, and I was coming to pick up some guys because they had a minivan that had super bald tires, and there was a blizzard going on, and I had a truck. So I came into the hotel to find out what room they were in, and the person behind the front desk starts yelling at somebody, and I turn around to look, and it's a Canadian standing on a couch, pushing the ceiling tile up, and reaches up there and grabs a case of beer out of there that he left the year prior. And I was just like, oh my God, what did I just get myself into going on right now? This is awesome.
Oh, that is great. That's classic.
But he didn't want to take it on his flight home, so he just stored it in the ceiling.
Stored in the ceiling in Syracuse for the hotel for a year.
Some of those Canadians and beers in the ceiling, I guess. So.
Awesome. So obviously, if you guys watch our podcast, we're getting to the end. So it's the famous last question. What is your best broomball memory? and now you guys can have one, two, it doesn't matter. One individually, you can have one together. What about you, Justine?
Can I wait a second? I have to think.
Okay.
Somebody
Okay.
else.
Let's go, JC. I'll
Uh,
switch it right up.
Probably my favorite one is my first nationals that I won in 2019. First year I played with Legion, and the squad was just really tight, and it was like a family right away when I joined with them. And yeah, I went to Fargo, won nationals, and it was just probably the greatest experience I've had so far. I mean, I have been lucky enough to win a couple Masters Worlds too, but like it was just such a tight group, and it was just getting into elite broomball, and it was like my first real experience, and it was most exciting tournament I've won so far.
Nice.
It's always awesome winning a national title. I don't care.
Yeah.
Even if you win like 8 or 9 of them, like the Nationals do all the time, but it's still nice.
Jess, what about you?
Yeah, Jess.
Do you guys know who Dale Earnhardt Jr. is?
Yes, yes.
NASCAR driver.
We're not
I
that far away from you guys.
Yeah.
You guys,
And honestly, Jess, we are not oblivious to the world.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know.
As much as Trump
NASCAR
likes to think we are, we're not.
Oh, the wall's not that tall there. I got to teach him how to play broomball during the Super Bowl when it was here in Minneapolis back in 2018. A gal in our broomball league, I think, worked for like Polaris Snowmobiles or something like that. And somehow someone from NBC Sports reached out to her and said, we're going to be doing this like well, it was going to, a Super Bowl commercial gets condensed down to, you spend like 8 hours, 10 hours of footage, it gets condensed down to 2 minutes. And they said, we are going to film Dale Jr. and Rutledge Wood. And they're, as Dale Jr. had just joined NBC Sports. It was like his first gig, and it was commentating the Super Bowl when it was here in Minneapolis. And they're like, we're going to have them do all the outdoor Minnesota things dead of winter in the middle, of right before the Super Bowl. And we're going to broadcast a little bit of it during the pregame show. We're like, and so she's like, what other things do you guys do in Minnesota? And she goes, oh, I play in this broomball league. And so they connected NBC Sports with me. And so I got to pick a bunch of my friends and, players to come out to this outdoor rink. And it was hands down the coldest day that winter. And these guys have no clue what broomball was. And they had done like snowmobiling, they did ice fishing, and then they did skijoring, which is skiing behind sled dogs, like cross country skis behind sled dogs. And they had so much fun playing broomball. And I handed them my league waiver, and I'm like, this is my poor attempt to get your autograph. I need you to sign our injury waiver. And so I got his autograph on that. And I was just a couple months pregnant, and so I didn't get to participate in the game, but I got to watch from the sidelines and be involved in some of the filming. And of that 2-minute little video that they played in the pregame show, 1.5 minutes of it was them playing broomball. They had drone footage, and it was just the coolest thing to watch broomball get played right before the Super Bowl on NBC Sports, and then to teach Dale Jr. how to play broomball outside.
That's awesome.
That's pretty awesome. That is pretty awesome. Yep.
Yeah. That's of all the other fun things and experiences, that's the top.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's always nice to see broomball on TV. Like once in a while, you'll see it at some all-star game or something. Or just the other day, I saw on Facebook some of the New York firefighters were playing broomball in their equipment, and I was like, oh, that's neat.
Yeah.
Justine, Tyler, how about you guys?
Okay, mine is going to be, I have two, and one would be the first gold medal I ever won with Thunder. We were playing in Regina, and I believe we did win in regular time, but it was the first time Thunder had won in years, maybe since Carlton Place, nationals. It was so long. Anyways, I think I cried for 2 hours. I called all the former Thunder players who would have been so proud of me. And it was a fun night that night. And then the second would be again winning nationals with the Vipers in 2019 in Cornwall on home ice in front of like a huge crowd. That was as Travis Kelce would say, that was electric.
Yeah, it was a great crowd for that whole tournament there.
That was a
good.
great tournament. Yeah.
Oh my God, it was amazing. So yeah, after that I was like, I don't care what happens. That was great. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Tyler, how about you?
2012 Worlds in Empire, Crown Place, Ottawa. That was one of the best tournaments.
The throw together. That's the throw together Worlds.
Yeah, that was a good tournament. And then 2019, winning closest to home for me. Yeah, that was good.
It's hard to pick from all the gold medals. I know it's tough. You know, when they're close to home, those count for sure.
Yes.
Especially when you got you got all the family out watching. It's easier for them to travel the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
100%. Yep.
Yeah.
Cam, maybe you need to talk to Justine about the Eastern Thunder and winning in the national title.
Hey, now.
3 I know you guys are awesome.
Ago,
you guys have a great team. You really do. And I'm not trying to rib you a little bit, but maybe you can get some coaching tips.
Fourth time's the charm. We're not getting silver this year.
I have a lot of silvers from Thunder. I will make that very clear.
Well, we'll see about that.
Yeah, 3 years in a row we've gone up against Saskatchewan and got silver. 3 years in a row. It's pretty. But that's enough for Saskatchewan.
Well, you have to admit though that was the 3 years in a row is crazy because it's the first 3 ever.
Yeah,
it really is. So
solid team they had, but that's it for them. They're done.
Okay.
3's enough.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you guys so much. Thank you. It was wonderful hearing all the stories and great, you know, how you guys met, how everything fell into place. Especially loved hearing more from Justine than Tyler because he didn't say very much. Fine.
Sorry, Chad.
That's okay. It probably whistles when you talk with that tooth. All right. Okay.
Good night, everybody.
I'm going to say good night because I want to go watch Canada play. Sorry.
All right, thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks, guys. See ya.